What's up, guys? So if you've been following my videos lately and checking me out on Instagram, you'll know that I'm less than a month away from starting my through ride of the Arizona Trail at the end of October. 800 miles from the Utah border to the Mexico border, straight through Arizona. I've done a couple prep videos, done a lot of pictures of things that I'm prepping for, showed my tent, talked about my bike, but today I figured I'd finally do a full breakdown of my gear setup on my bike. So let's tear it down and check it out. Alright guys, so let's get into it. This is my rig. This is the Surly ECR, which I recently made a video about the bike, all the stock build on it, and then what I've done to customize mine. So you'll notice that I have my full gear set up on here with all of my bags. I'm going to go through a couple of them on the bike, and then we'll talk about what I have inside of the bags, and I'll break them down for you. So right off the bat, I have the Osprey Escapist 18 hydration pack and Bikepacking bag. I've done a review video on that, and if you guys want to check it out, I'll put the link up here, and you can go over and check that out after this video if you want to see a full in-depth review and breakdown of that bag. So that's the Osprey Escapist 18. Next up, the shoes that I'll be rocking are the Izumi X-Alp Launch 2. Thanks to Izumi for hooking those up for me. I'm working with them on the Arizona Trail, and they're one of my supporters, so thanks a lot to Chris Manny over at Izumi for hooking me up with those. Really great shoe. We'll get into a little bit more with those here in a little bit. And then the helmet that I'm rocking is a Specialized Tactic 2. Really like the helmet, super comfortable, super breathable, and I think it's going to work pretty well for me. Alright, now back to the bike. First off, something new from the video that I done on the Surly ECR. If you guys want to check that video out, I'll put it up here. But since I did that video, I started working with a company out of New Mexico called Gravity Works. Show their little emblem right there. Gravity Works, which produces carbon wheel sets and produces a plus size wheel set. So on the Arizona Trail, I'll be rocking the Gravity Works Badger 50 Plus carbon wheel set, which is what's on the bike now. An excellent wheel set. Super stiff, super strong, amazing handling, and super lightweight. With the wheel set, I dropped over 2 pounds on the bike. Actually, I think it was kind of close to 3 pounds. It's about 2.5, almost 3. I'm running DT Swiss 350 hubs on the front and the rear. Really amazing wheel set. Can't wait to test them a lot more and really show you guys what Gravity Works has to offer. Another thing that I've added to the bike since my last video for the TRP Spire SLs, that's a carbon brake lever, and it's a double actuated, so both pads move for being a mechanical brake, which I'm really loving those so far. Thanks to Sport Systems for hooking those up and being another one of my sponsors for the Arizona Trail. Really great brake. I'll probably do another review on those a little bit later after I really put them to the test and let you guys know how I really like them, or maybe I won't like them so much, but I'll let you know, and we'll do that a little bit later. So, talking about the setup on my bike, first off, up here on the front, I have the Ortlieb front roll bag, all waterproof by Ortlieb. Ortlieb does all of their bags waterproof, a German company that's been making panniers and other bags for quite some time. They recently got into the bike packing market, so I really love that bag so far. On the front here is my Six Moons Design Skyscape Trekker, which I did a video on that recently, and if you want to check that out, I'll put the link up here. But definitely check that out. Check out the full review on that. But I kind of have that rocking up front on front of my Ortlieb bag. Moving on down the line here, I have a Revelate Designs gas tank, which what I keep in it usually is snacks, fuel for the day. I think I got a Cliff Bar in there right now, but whatever I'm going to be eating while I'm riding on the trail for the day, that's what I like to keep up there. Next up is the Revelate Designs jerry can. This is the bent version, so it'll fit my Surly. So it has this nice little cut here, so it fits on my frame really well. And what I keep in there are all my tools, spare parts, and things that I need to work on my bike in the field. So that's what I got the jerry can for. We'll open that up here in a little bit. Back here I have the Revelate Designs Viscacha. I think it's the Viscacha, I think that's how you pronounce it. Rear bag, which back here I keep my clothes, my cook system up here, and a few odds and ends. Keep it pretty lightweight since it's on the back. I don't want to be throwing around a bunch of heavy weight on the rear. So that's what I got on there now. And then a Revelate Designs full frame bag. That is a Surly frame bag, custom design. I think it's bag number 8. Custom designed for the ECR. I ordered that straight from Surly, so it's a co-branded. Revelate does a lot of really great co-branding with some of the bike companies that they work with. So even though it says Surly on it, Revelate did make that bag. And in there, pretty much all I keep in here is my water filter, and I keep food. So pretty much want to keep the most weight on my bike kind of as low as I can possibly get it. So everything, edible, food, dinner, breakfast, lunch, and my water filter will be kept in my frame bag. Down here I have a Blackburn Outpost kind of anything cage. Salsa makes a cage called the anything cage. This is the Blackburn version, but I like to keep a 1.5 liter water bottle down here to make sure I can carry some extra water on those dry areas of the trail. And then also on the back I have dual water bottle cages, both on the rear triangle, that I can hold 2 regular CamelBack water bottles for extra water storage. So that is pretty much my entire setup on the bike. Aside from that, I have a couple odds and ends. My Lite, my Serfas True 250 Lite, USB rechargeable. I was going to opt for a dynamo hub with the charging light, but I decided just to go with that. I do carry an extra battery, and we'll be stopping in some towns to charge the battery. So having that USB rechargeable is really nice, and I think that's going to work out for me. The other thing that I have is this Night Rider rear light. I'm probably going to hold on to that and maybe clip it to my rear bag. I don't know if I'm going to keep it in that spot, but I am going to hold on to it for the Arizona Trail in case whenever I go through Flagstaff or any other places where I really need a rear light and need to be seen. So that's going to stay on the bike right now. Don't exactly know if that's going to stay in that spot. And then up here on the bars I have my Garmin Etrex 20 that I'll be using to data map the entire trail. I'll definitely be using paper maps as well, and maybe downloading a GPX file from someone else that has done the trail. But I'm mainly using it to do my own track and set my own route on the Arizona Trail, because the whole plan while I'm bikepacking the Arizona Trail is to make a guide for bikepacking. So I'll use that to set my entire route. If we go over here to the other side of the bike, only a couple of things over here. I do have my pump. This is a Specialized Air Tool mountain pump, right there on the side of the frame. I really like that. Been thinking about getting a different pump, but for right now that's working. And then I keep my my carbon tent poles right there on the side of the frame, attached with the frame bag holders. So that's been a nice spot for those. I might get a couple zip ties, well maybe not zip ties, but some other type of banding to keep those on there a little bit better so they don't shake off. But for now it's been working really good. That is the full gear setup on the bike and all of my bags. All right guys, so let's take everything, let's open it up, and I'll show you what's inside the bags. First up we have the Ortlieb waterproof front roll handlebar bag, which you can tell is pretty damn big. It opens up on both sides, and then has a really nice waterproof lining on the inside. Has been a really great bag, super tough. Has some nice compression straps on the side, a couple stacks to make sure it kind of holds off of your bars a little bit better. Really secure bag, doesn't move around a lot. I'm really enjoying it. Enjoying it over a couple other systems that I've used. So inside of that bag, the only two things that I put on the inside of that bag are my Therma-Rest Neo Air. Have that same pad that I used on the AT, and then my Enlightened Equipment Revelation 20 down quilt. The only two things that I keep in that bag. I definitely want to make sure that in that bag I keep somewhat low weight, because it is on the front end of the bike. And then another really important thing is making sure that I keep everything waterproof. And also on the front of that, as you've seen on the front of the bungee there, I keep my 6 Moons Design Skyscape Trekker tent. Keep that just right on the front, but those 3 items are the only things that I keep on the front of my bike. Again, I don't want to carry a whole lot of weight on the front of the bike because I don't want to have really tough handling, and want to make sure that I'm also not front heavy. So those are the only 3 pieces of equipment that I keep in my handlebar bag. Alright, so next up is my frame bag. Again, that's a Revelate Designs Surly co-branded frame bag. Has 2 main compartments. It has this big zipper compartment here, and then it has on the other side a small compartment here, little pocket. But all of it, again, that I keep in that bag is my food bag, which I do have a bear hanging system, so 50 foot of Spectra cord from Zpacks. That's a Cuben fiber rock bag, and then my Cuben fiber food bag. I keep all of my food in that, so that way at night, if I am in any type of bear country, or just to get away from any critters, I can hang that in a tree, just like I did on the AT. That is what mainly goes in here. The only other thing that I keep inside of my frame bag, in the main compartment, is my filter. Right now I have a Sawyer Mini. I really don't like the Sawyer Mini. I'm a bigger fan of the regular Sawyer Squeeze, so I'll either be switching to that, or I've also thought about maybe taking Aquamira. Have about a couple weeks to decide. As of right now, it's going to be one of the Sawyers, but I have thought about taking the Aquamira. So in that main compartment, again, just food with my bear bag and my filter. In this little pocket over here on the side, this little bitty pocket, the only thing I keep in there are all of my electronics. So inside of that little Cuben fiber bag by Zpacks, I just keep a couple extra batteries, a charging block, my iPod Shuffle with headphones, an extra mini SD card for my camera so I can shoot and show you guys what I'm doing, couple extra little cables for charging and whatnot for the different electronics that I have. But all of that fits inside of this little guy and then goes right inside of that little pouch. And the other thing that I keep in there are paper maps. GPS aren't always 100% reliable, so having a good paper map of the Arizona Trail is definitely good to have too. So that is all that will be in my frame bag. Next up is the seat bag. Again, that is the Revelate Designs Viscacha bag. Viscacha, I don't really know how to pronounce it, but Viscacha bag, made by Revelate Designs. Inside of that bag, I keep my camp shoes, which are the VivoBarefoot camp shoes. Pretty much going to keep those to be able to make sure I can get my feet out of my cycling shoes while I'm at camp. And then also walking around, I might just want to not wear my cycling shoes one day. So those are really nice, lightweight, breathable. Have those in there. Next up is my cook system that I keep all the way in the back of it near the seat post. It is my Snow Peak 700 titanium mug with a homemade koozie that I made myself. If you've watched any of my videos, you've probably seen that a ton. It's one of my favorite pieces of gear. Had the little mesh stuff sack that goes with that, and inside of there I keep a can of fuel for my stove. The stove that I carry is the Snow Peaks Light Max titanium and aluminum canister stove with its little stuffed sack, a piece of tin foil as a lid for my cup, and the Snow Peaks Hot Lips to put on my cup when I'm drinking coffee in the morning. If I do have coffee, I want to make sure I don't burn my lips, and a Bic mini lighter. I'll actually probably carry 2 of those just in case. That one's also running kind of low. So that's all in this cup in my cook system. The other thing that I keep in my seat bag is a clothes bag. So all of my extra clothes that I want to carry, this is a Zpacks Cuben fiber, not Cuben, which I was corrected recently on. Cuben fiber clothes bag, and inside of that waterproof roll top clothes bag, I have an extra set of bib shorts. I am a bib man, don't really like cycling shorts. They fall around, they fall too much. Once you go bib, you don't go back. So an extra set of LG bibs, my Nike Pro Combat thermal tights. Use those all the way through the entire Appalachian Trail on my hike. They are amazing. I love them. They keep me super warm, and they turn my shorts into pants. I have a cycling jersey. This is a Sport Systems branded cycling jersey with the New Mexico Zia symbol on there, so representing New Mexico. I have a set of Zensah compression calf sleeves. That way at night at camp I can kind of compress my calves, get some cramps out of them. An extra pair of darn tough wool socks, which I'll use mainly as camp socks and then as an alternative to the riding socks that I wear. An outdoor research down beanie, really nice, especially on those colder nights. I think it's going to be a little bit chilly, especially at the beginning north of the Grand Canyon. It's probably going to be a little chilly being the end of October. So have that, and then my Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer down jacket. Really love this jacket. Bought it this past year, took it back to the Appalachian Trail in the spring. Kept me really warm on those chilly nights, especially up in Maine when the weather started to drop. So all of that in my clothes bag, and aside from that, it's just my clothes, my camp shoes, my cook system, all of that in my seat bag on the back of my saddle. Really low weight, so I don't have a whole lot of weight shifting back and forth. And that's what's in there. Next up is the Revelate Gas Tank. Again, all that I keep in my gas tank is the food and snacks that I'll be eating throughout the day on my ride. Cliff Bars, Taos Mountain Energy Bars, Cliff Blocks, gels, anything that I can do to put calories back in my body will go in that guy right up in front of me, really easy to get to. Then we have the Jerry Can by Revelate Designs. This goes right under my seat post, as you've seen on the bike. Inside of the Jerry Can, all that I keep are all of my repair items. So in there I have a small bottle of lube, which should be enough for the whole trail. I have a Spyderco knife, really lightweight, nice little knife for pretty much anything I need to cut. The Specialized Mountain Bike EMT Pro Tool. Really like this tool. Going to be shooting a gear review on it, but as you can see, it has a full-on chain breaker. It has every little tool that I need on there. It even has a disc pad separator and 2 little spoke wrenches. So it's a great little tool to have. I think it's really going to do the trick. I've been using it a lot whenever I do small adjustments on my bike in the field, but that's the multi-tool I'll be carrying. And then I had this little Altoids can, and inside that can is pretty much extra cables, some quick links, chain links, a couple patch kits, a couple extra spoke nipples, some repair goo to repair flats, any other small items that I need are in there. A couple other things that I need to put in there are a few zip ties, and just a couple, like maybe a couple extra valves, anything that I'm going to need to actually work on the bike, but that's all my little loose items are in there. Make sure that doesn't get away there. My bottles are kind of all over the place. Next up are the random things that are kind of sitting on the outside of my bike. I have just a cheap plastic 1.5 liter water bottle, really big water bottle that I keep on my bottom cage on my bike to carry extra water. And then 2 CamelBack Podium jet valve bottles that I keep on my rear stays for extra water. Attached to my Revelate frame bag, I have my carbon fiber tent poles for my Skyscape Trekker by Six Moons Design. Those kind of sit right on the down tube on my bike, right up against the bag. Really nice place for those. I have a specialized MTB Air Tool. That's a 78cc pump. Has been really great for my 29 plus tires. I have a Night Rider Sabre rear light, which again, I don't know if I'm going to keep that on the post where it was, but that's going to be nice for whenever I go into any type of towns, ride down the street and stuff to make sure that I can be seen. The front light that I'll be using is a Serfas True 250 headlight. It just clips right onto my fork, and then it is USB rechargeable. I do carry an extra battery to be able to charge that, so I think that'll work out really nice for me. I don't plan on doing a lot of night riding, but if I do happen to get into camp late, that'll be nice to have. And then last but certainly not least, the Garmin Etrex 20X. There are a ton of reviews on this computer. Pretty much if you're bikepacking, this is the computer to have. I haven't really 100% figured out all of the features of it and how to 100% use it. It does use regular batteries, but it's also rechargeable. So if you use rechargeable batteries, you can just plug that up and charge it in a wall socket, or you can use like an external battery charging pack like I do carry with me. So that's pretty much why I went with that model. And again, I'll be using that not really to follow the trail, but I'll be doing it to set my own route and in preparation to writing a bikepacking guide on the Arizona Trail. So that's pretty much to keep all of my data, let me know my mileage, let me know exactly where I'm at, how far away from a town I am, and that should be really great to use out there. Next up on the list is what is on my back. So the Osprey Escapist 18. Again, I recently did a review, a full in-depth review on this pack and all the features of it. I'll put the link up here, if you guys want to check that out and kind of look at all the features of that. Really digging that pack. It has an integrated rain cover. I also carry a 2.5 liter hydration bladder in there with water. So all the water that I'll need to drink throughout the day, I can just put on my back. And then in my other bottles can store water for camp at night, for cooking, and then also to refill that if I need it. Inside of that bag, I have a handful of things. First off, a few electronics. This is my PowerAd little power bank to recharge my lights, my phone, all that good stuff. I also have a black diamond spot headlamp for at night in camp. And then any other time if I have to ride a little bit later in the day, that way I have a little bit more visibility. I have a GoPro session mount on a GoPro Chesty strap. This is kind of new to me, but this will be really great to kind of put on my chest, so that way I can get some really good shots while I'm riding of the trail to show you guys. And then for a short documentary that I'm going to be making, it'll be really nice to get some good shots. Another thing for my GoPro that I have is this little flexible, I believe it's made by Targus, tripod mount. That way I can wrap it around some trees, use it at camp, do a couple things from camp, on the bike. Great little tripod mount, doesn't weigh barely anything. That'll be nice to have. My Sea to Summit Alpha aluminum spork that obviously I'll be eating all my meals with. I also carry, I'm not a huge fan of chamois butter. I more prefer Body Glide, so be carrying a Body Glide mini stick. And then I'll also be sending myself an extra one about halfway through the trail so I can resupply on that. Obviously some shit tickets, some toilet paper, a toothbrush, also a little bitty tube of toothpaste, which I don't have here, forgot to pick one up. This is my little first aid kit. Have some ibuprofen, bandages, a sewing kit, everything that pretty much I carried on the Appalachian Trail, kind of using that same first aid kit. And then, aside from all of the kind of gear inside of my bag, also have a handful of extra articles of clothing. My Pearl Izumi barrier cap has a little ear flap, so it keeps my head nice and warm, and plus I'm a cap guy, so I get to wear a nice thermal cap. Some Pearl Izumi toe covers for my shoes. Thinking about switching out to some that are a little more hardcore than this. Right now this will work, but I might be switching out before I leave to kind of a full booty cover. I have the Pearl Izumi cold weather gloves, nice cold protection, and then I might also be rocking some liner gloves with those just in case it gets too cold. I have some Pearl Izumi Elite arm covers, thermal arm covers, so I can add these to that jersey that I have and keep my arms warm if I don't want to wear a jacket. And then last but not least, inside of that pack I have my outdoor research Helium 2 HD jacket. This jacket has been with me everywhere, the entire Appalachian Trail. You can see a little bit of tape repair there, but she's still going strong. A really good wind barrier, really good rain jacket, nice and breathable, packs down really light, super lightweight. But that is all that will be on my back. Didn't want to put a whole lot on my back, just a few handfuls of things that I needed. The other thing that will be in that pack that you're not seeing right now is my GoPro session, which I am filming with, and then my trusty iPhone 4S. Isn't that weird? Ooh, picture in picture. I'll be taking that same phone that I had on the AT. I just use it to take pictures, and then obviously for emergencies. Alright, so finally we have what will be on me, the clothes that I'll be wearing most of the time during the trail. Like I said, I anticipate it to be a pretty chilly start being north of the Grand Canyon, and then as I get closer past Flagstaff, it'll start to warm up a little bit. But I just want to make sure that I stay nice and warm, so I'm pretty much taking a kind of fall riding setup with me. So first off, I have my favorite bib shorts, Voler or Voler or however you want to pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced a couple different ways. These are my bib shorts, courtesy of Mr. Mike Boren at Guitar Lab. Hooked me up with those, so representing my hometown of Evansville a little bit there. Really nice, lightweight, really nice chamois bib short. On top of those, I have a knicker, made by Navarro. I picked those up at REI a while back. They're a Navarro knicker, nice, lightweight, stretchy short that I'm going to be wearing over that, so that should be nice. Next up, my main top that I'll be wearing is my long sleeve, quarter zip Copen top, which is one of my favorite pieces of gear. If you watch some of my videos in the past, you'll see it a lot. I did a video where I talked about my 3 favorite pieces of gear. This was one of them. It's been with me on a lot of trips. This trip's no exception. It's going with me. It'll keep me nice and warm. I can roll up the sleeves. I can zip that down, wear it over something. Really, really great top. Really love that guy. Next up is my buff. A buff that I can use to keep my neck warm, my ears warm. If I get a little bit dusty, it's something I can put up over my face to keep my face warm, to also keep dust out of my mouth. So a buff, my Pace cycling cap. Again, I am a cap guy. I love cycling caps, so I'll be taking a Pace with me. I have some retro Pearl Izumi gloves that I've had for a while now. I'm going to be rocking those. A little bit of retro style, a little bit of vintage, and you know, repping Pearl again because they've been so great to sponsor this trip and hook me up with a few things. Sock guy, turbo wool socks. I really love these socks. Wear them day to day. Have tons of pairs of them, but that'll probably mainly be my main sock that I'm going to wear. Keeps my feet warm. My feet don't sweat when I wear these. They're nice and long, so that's going to be my main sock. And then, like I said in the beginning, I just got the Pearl Izumi X-Alp Launch 2s. Really walkable cycling shoe, so it's really good for hike-a-bike. Has a nice tread on the bottom, so I'll be able to walk the bike if I need to. Has that nice BOA system. It does have a carbon sole, so very nice and stiff. Nice padding on the inside. Really loving that shoe. Again, thanks Chris Manny at Pearl for hooking those up. And then I also have a Specialized Tactic 2 helmet. Really nice and breathable. It does have a visor, but I'm not a big visor guy, again, because I am a cap guy. But really nice fit, lightweight, good and breathable. That should do the trick and be a great brain bucket if I do wreck, to make sure that my head doesn't smash on a rock. So, that being said, that is the full setup that I'll have on me and that I'll be riding with. And then I do have some options to switch out some clothing with what you've seen on my clothes bag setup. So, alright guys, so that is everything, the full breakdown on my bike of what I'll be taking in less than a month on the Arizona Trail. If you haven't got a chance to follow me yet on Instagram, go over and check me out. I post a lot of pictures every week of some things that I'm doing, some previews for the videos that I do every Thursday, and also whenever I hit the Arizona Trail, I'll be doing a picture a day on Instagram. So make sure you go over there and subscribe, follow me, so you can get all those, a little bit more media instead of waiting every week for the videos. Like or dislike this video, let me know what you think. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and as always guys, thanks for watching.
Yeah.